Hello and welcome once again everywhere to the I-League Season number 2 Southeast Asian Qualifiers. This is the quarterfinal, a best of 3 series, Rave versus First Departure. Rave, they did take game number 1, I can't say like super convincingly or anything, but from some point onwards First Departure just couldn't find the fights at all. Even though they had just a Tidehunter, we saw like 3, maximum 4 Ravages in the game I do believe, and it was like a 45-minute game. But for game number 2 First Departure, they have to win now or they're going to be completely out of this tournament. But we're HeflaTV, your English coverage for the qualifiers. I am Culture and I am joined by Mr. Blackadder Man. Do you think First Departure is going to tie the series?
I have my doubts. They've been having problems with their roster today. They're running with 3 stand-ins last I looked. No, 2 stand-ins, and still too many stand-ins, man. Too many stand-ins. Too many stand-ins that are changing.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understood, only one of the players got hospitalized. It was Hana. So I would have thought that Aluka, as in Kai, would still be around for them, but unfortunately not the case for them, so definitely hurts them as well. I mean, maybe if they had their full lineup in the first game, things could have gone differently. I mean, they weren't all that far off from just snowballing themselves with a massive Temper Assassin at one point. But looking at this draft now, Naga once again banned out by Rave just to make sure that, well, Miracle cannot take over a game with at least that particular hero. And Ogre Magi first pick, I guess it's kind of a safe one.
Yeah, it seems we're going back to safe drafts. This is the combination I was looking for in game number 1. Vengeful Spirit, Death Prophet. It's good for a reason. Wave of Terror, negative armor, stuns to lock him down for the exorcism to do damage. Good silence, good pushing power with a Wave of Terror. This is what I wanted to see in game number 1.
Well, you're gonna at least see it now as well. And Rave, unless they pick up a Jakiro themselves, I would definitely advise them to just ban it out in the second phase. Although I think the hero wasn't touched at all in game number 1. If you have a Death Prophet Vengeful and just combo that up with that Jakiro as well, although they might want to ban out a Lycan, maybe. Rave themselves play the Lycan so they know exactly how strong that hero can be. So First Departure, like any pushers, definitely will be good for them, and I think they're probably gonna commit a little bit more than Rave did in game number 1 for the pushing strat.
Yeah, I could see a Nature's Prophet certainly to go with this Death Prophet. We've seen that combination from First Departure in previous games. And just look to play the split push build with a Nature's Prophet and a Death Prophet.
But they banned out a Drow instead now. I guess Drow, Vengeful plus Visage, or even Drow with just Vengeful even without the Visage can be extremely strong. But I'm not too sure. I guess Miracle definitely can play the Drow Ranger, can play most of anything, I guess. Zeus though banned out by First Departure. Although the Zeus, I mean, wasn't that great of a hero, just Thunder God's Wrath to disable the blink there of Tidehunter, for example, already, I guess, was enough for them to just get screwed over.
Yeah, it's one of the things Zeus is really good at, disabling those daggers. Static field, good range on that. Thunder God's Wrath, of course. And, well, the popularity of Zeus in general lately, I am honestly surprised, because you consider 3 months ago, you would laugh if you picked a Zeus. You would get laughed at if you picked a Zeus. The enemy would laugh at you for picking the Zeus, and they would just win. However, now, Zeus, all-powerful nuker, and is feared so much that we see Zeus banned.
It definitely is crazy. I mean, not much has changed about the Zeus at all. Just suddenly people are like, oh, it's actually a viable pick just because the burst damage is almost second to none. It's really ridiculous how much damage it does. But Rave now, it is their turn to play the Medusa. As First Departure they go for the Disruptor. A pretty solid counter to the Batrider, and between the Vengeful and Disruptor, there shouldn't be a great lasso in this game at all, to be honest. Maybe
No,
if it's
there
like
should be.
a super fast blink on Batrider and Vengeful and Disruptor just don't have their levels yet properly for a max range glimpse or just a swap, but in general, shouldn't have a low First Departure. Nyx Assassin to kind of counter the Medusa. And of course Nyx Assassin Spike Carapace great against Batrider Firefly.
Yeah, so we're looking at an off-lane Nyx Assassin, mid-lane Death Prophet, then you've got Vengeful and Disruptor. You know, I'm feeling a Phantom Assassin this game for FD.
It definitely might come out. It's a hero that Miracle probably enjoys playing as well. Just who doesn't love the huge crits, of course? Who doesn't love it?
Whoever's on the receiving end.
Oh, I guess that's true enough. It's really hard, just because that hero, you kind of like get the BKB and the Basher and you just kill everything in sight. What other hero could do that with just 2 of those items?
Very true, very true. But now we have the Viper for Rave, so they're going for a more stable build. Ogre, Viper, Medusa's the odd one out here, and Batrider. Batrider's been uncommon lately, but still, to this day, one of the best heroes for me to watch and enjoy. I mean, just seeing the plays that Batrider can do is downright insane.
Well, Viper is definitely a tanky hero for Rave to have now as the fourth one. Medusa also rather hard to be brought down when he has like one item already. Get some extra stats for the mana shield to be a little bit more effective as well. Witch Doctor banned out as the last one. So they don't want to deal with the heal, but... Well, first departure, we already talked about the Phantom Assassin a little bit. Are there any other heroes that would fit as their fifth one?
The problem with the Phantom Assassin now is more the Viper. Once you see the Viper, you can't really go PA all that reliably. The Viper Strike just does too much against her. So you need something that really can deal with the mana, you can deal with the Stone Gaze and still keep going. Anti-Mage would be the ideal choice, but of course banned out here.
Well, so that's completely out of the question for now for them. I guess if they want to go for a really aggressive route, you can try to go for something like a Slark. Also a good hero to have up against Batrider. You can Dark Pact off the lasso if need be. Although up against Viper, maybe you don't care as much as other melee heroes would, but even so, Slark, or maybe they would, well, they go for the Slark after all. But I thought like maybe they need something that can just offer a little bit more damage maybe even. This Slark also like snowball heavy kind of.
If Slug could get a good snowball going, sure, I can see the Slug working out here. But I was actually thinking maybe one of the more older school carries.
Was Anti-Mage banned?
Yeah, Anti-Mage was banned. I was hoping to see an Anti-Mage, but banned out. Actually banned out by first departure after the Medusa pick of Rave. So I would actually have quite liked to see an Alchemist here, believe it or not.
Well, Alchemist definitely is a hero that we haven't seen at all almost. Although... I guess the minus armor wouldn't have been bad. I mean, Wave of Terror, Acid Spray, just Death Prophet's ultimate does even more damage. But we'll see how it works out. I do have to say I probably slightly favor Rave's lineup in this case, but if first departure can get the snowball going, they can definitely just take over this game, just go for buildings every time, exorcism up, get Roche and whatnot, have the Slark just kill everybody solo, I don't know. But to introduce the lineup for the second game, for first departure on the Radiant side, Miracle will be playing the Slark, leaving Poloson on the Vengeful with Lobby and the Disruptor. Ashraf, another stand-in for them, replacing Good Morning I do believe, is on the Death Prophet. And the last one will be Scrap on the offlane Nyx.
And of course on the flip side of that coin, for Rave, we've got Ninja Boogie on the Jakiro. Over on the Ogre Magi, we have Cast, and he might actually poke and prod at Scrub a little bit here. Carrying in that lane will be Jo, going to be looking to farm up as best he can. And down in the off lane, who could be in some trouble, you've got Chrissy on that Batrider. Now, he could be isolated here. Going to have to try to escape disruption. Well, Glimpse even brings him back, but nowhere near enough. So and finally, rounding up the lineup, you've got Rio on that Viper.
So that's pretty much 160 mana lost for Lobby. Also, if you go for level 1 Glimpse, actually you don't have too much laning presence all of a sudden. Thunderstrike otherwise, a fairly good spell, 160 damage early on. Does cost you 130 mana as well, but at least it gives you some nice vision. You can actually harass the Batrider, but with a Glimpse, you're not that scary at all against the Batrider. Whereas Vengeful just maybe doesn't have the attack range to deal with the Bat. At least they do find the sentry on the Observer Ward, so getting something out of this. 50 gold, no vision for the Batrider. And that's actually pretty huge, because now he's always going to have to be wary of just when the creeps are coming in, but Chrissy gets a sentry ward of his own down for the lane ward, so just 1-1 Observer Ward centered.
Well, as it stands right now, I think we're both putting our money on Rave for this one, yeah?
I am at least, yes.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. I think Rave will have the edge here. But as it stands, I think lane-wise, well, Scrub, he's not going to have a nice time up against these two. And I'm honestly going to be keenly watching Scrub to see how he performs in this game, because I think we both agreed that Ravages were a little off point in game number 1.
Yeah, I had the exact same thought as well. Just how well can you perform with an Nyx Assassin? Does actually skill up something now as well, finally. Has the stun as well as the Spike Carapace. So should be able to escape. I mean, Ogre by himself probably not that big of a threat quite yet. And Jakiro just wants to get some levels, wants to get either a Dual Breath and Liquid Fire or Ice Path, Liquid Fire, something like that. Depending on the situation, it's always nice that if you don't need the spells anyway for anything else, just withhold the points and just kill them up accordingly. For some heroes it's like straightforward, you just pick up your stun. For others it's like you can go for a slow or stun, just along those lines, so just hold the points if you don't need them anyway.
Yeah, holding the points is usually a wiser idea a lot of the time. Pick what you need, and honestly, when you're up against the Ogre, Mana Warfare against the Ogre could be the option here. Just take away his ability to cast by removing all the mana with the Mana Burn. I think that at least would be what I would do for Scrub.
So if you're Scrub, you're probably going to be struggling for levels for quite some time still to come. Do you go for still like maxing out Impale, because it is such a strong ability. The stun duration increases by quite a lot as well, and of course, if you get the angle correctly, you can stun multiple people. But Chrissy is going for a first blood, he has the Firefly. If he gets a few more sticky napalm stacks, there's the magic missile coming up, but they might get the kill with the haste on Chrissy. My god, if he gets a solo kill, the glimpse is there and might save Poloson, but might not be effective at all. Miracle does pounce in, Chrissy gets the first blood, and is he even gonna escape? Are you kidding me? He has the haste, no, he turns around. Had he just run away without the sticky napalm, Lobby would not have gotten the kill.
Yeah, that's a risk-reward kind of one. He dove, he thought, okay, drop another sticky napalm stack, keep running. It is a very hard one to make that call in the heat of the moment, and I don't envy him for having to make that decision. Still, first blood to Chrissy on the bat, and if there's anyone getting a first blood that you don't want getting a first blood, it's bloody Chrissy.
Yeah, especially just being a off-lane solo against a tri-lane as well. Of course, just haste rune, it is so strong in the Batrider, and first departure they really need the bounce to land for them to be able to save anybody there. But of course, landing a pounce on a hasted Batrider, how the hell are you supposed to land that realistically if you don't have a blink dagger, or even with a blink it would be somewhat hard for you. So nicely done by Chrissy, still think it was somewhat of a mistake for him to turn around there and give away the kill. But Scrub taking a lot of damage, Jo still has the Mystic Snake, not gonna use it though. Probably had it calculated, level 2 Mystic Snake would not have been enough without getting the bounces beforehand. But Scrub just having a really bad time.
It's not exactly the easiest thing to predict the bounces on the Mystic Snake, though it's one of the hardest and highest skill cap caveats of Medusa. But we do have Poloson rotating up here, maybe looking for a bit of a fight with the Nyx Assassin, but can the Nyx really do enough here with a Vengeful backing him up? Especially when you've got Ninja Boogie rotating in as well. This tri-lane you can't really deal with when you're Poloson here.
I would be inclined to say no. All he can do is just keep Scrub a little bit safer there, come in with a magic missile if need be, but even that probably would have limited success. At least he gets level 2 now, so has both the minus armor and the stun. So if Medusa by himself extends a little bit too far, maybe they can even get the kill there. At least with the tower helping out, they should be able to do so with like Impale, magic missile and the minus armor. But looking at Chrissy now, he's just gone into the jungle, will farm up a... well, not a double stack. It was a double stack after all, never mind me. So get some nice XP, already level 5. And for an offlaner, 4.5 minutes in, that's great. And cast on the Ogre. He just went solo offlane, he doesn't care.
It's... I honestly don't know. This game seems so off right now. Do you know what I mean? Off with the fact that normally you'd expect more on the bat, whereas the bat's now going for the full jungle stacks. Ogre in the off lane, I suppose, works, but up against Miracle on a Slark, you risk dying too quickly. I mean, Ogre can work in the off lane, but all it will take is one pounce to cause issues. You see what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, of course, it's definitely hard for him. But supports, I guess Tank for the Ogre are rotating around, but Rior might not be too happy about this. They need the glimpse and they do get it as well. Ashraf will follow with the Crypts for Magic Missile was there, Impale to follow. 4 heroes committed, but for a level 6 Viper, it's probably worth it even. Although, they still need a lot more where that came from.
I'm not too sure if that was worth it. That, as you say, 4 hero rotation. Look at top lane. Jo free farming in the meantime. Batrider had those full jungle stacks, and Chrissy is almost got a dagger already. I mean, he's looking at a 7-minute dagger. That's going to be nuts. And Caster's getting levels now as well. He's almost level 4. This is just perfect here for Rave. They are happy to lose a mid laner if they're getting that much on all of their other heroes.
The thing is though that while the kill happened, the Ogre was actually rotating away from the off lane, so he just wasn't soaking up XP. Has to be a little bit mindful of just the Slark solo even without the supports being there, of course, being like 3 levels behind the Slark at this point. But Chrissy has made his way back there, up to 1.6k gold. If he can continue normally farming, if the supports stack up the jungle for him once again, it just is going to be an extremely fast Blink Dagger. Even if he doesn't get it on lane, Miracle is going to have to escape Chrissy as well. Just because he knows Chrissy has the lasso, so if you're under the tower, once your creeps are down, you might be in trouble. But who's in trouble? It's Scrub. Dual breath up, Spike Herpes buys a little bit of time, but it's only level 1. There's the Liquid Fire as well. They need the Mystic Snake, but it's already on cooldown. So Scrub does survive this just barrage. But man, Scrub at least is not that far from level 6, to be honest.
But if you want problems, take a look at Lubby. Gets caught out with the lasso, burning away with all of those stacks of sticky napalm. But now comes Miracle, going to try to deter the bat from going for the kill, and will successfully do so. Will he go for the pounce? Looking for it, thinking about it. Paulson up on the low ground as well, looking to try to get involved. But, oh, Chrissy, you seem to have overextended. Getting caught out. Does he have his dagger? No, he doesn't. He's 100 off. That's going to set him back 100 more. That's unpleasant. He went for the kill, just couldn't quite manage it.
Yeah, if you get the kill, it's an extremely fast Blink Dagger. Now suddenly needs another 300 gold for it. So a little bit unfortunate, but he was so close to getting it. So I can completely understand why you would want to go for the Disruptor. There's not too much you can do actually to you in that case. But Cheo also farming the safe lane, 46 and 10. Both safe laners have had relative free farm the entire game. The last hits kind of show it as well. 47 compared to 45 of Slark. Off laners though, 11 and 1 on Scrub compared to 41 and 0 Batrider. And who's going into the jungle now as well, has a triple stack, so he's going to get his Blink Dagger anyway, like 8.5 minutes.
And now we're going to be looking at a tier 1 falling on that top lane. No, Scrub can't hold this. They can come to the TP to defend this, but is it going to be enough? Miracle's going to try to get involved here, but they've already got the tower, and the tower is the most important thing. Jaya will take a fall to this combination, and MB, Ninja, he's going to have to try to TP away. Do they have a stun? They have got the glimpse instead. Oh, Ninja in a lot of trouble here, and he looks to fall as well. All it'll take is a magic missile, but they don't have the mana on any of the heroes. The wave, however, will be enough from Ashraf.
It was so funny to see that the TP went through, and then he got glimpsed back after that. I bet he was for a second like, oh, I TP'd out. Oh no, glimpsed back anyway. So a little bit unfortunate. Slark getting some more gold. Might be going for a Midas with the gloves of haste that he has, or it's almost certainly going to be a Midas. Still there's a potential for a Maelstrom or maybe an Armlet or something, but I highly doubt it's going to be either of those two.
Aye, and right now, with the Blink Dagger available for the Bats, this is the point where they can start to get a comeback on First Apache here. First Apache have a bit of a lead right now in terms of kills, but when you look at the hero lineup that's present in this game, if you want a mid to late game team, you bet on Rave.
Oh, it's definitely so, although Cheo might be in some kind of trouble. Miracle trying to get enough life back to actually be able to go on Cheo, and Cheo did skill up the Stone Gaze now as well, as in the meantime, Poloson gets found by a lasso, gets the magic missile off, but that's about it. And Cheo now top lane. Do they have Static Storm? No, they don't, and there's the Stone Gaze. Miracle should not be able to follow up. He gets petrified as well, takes a lot of damage in return, and he dies. Oh my god. That turnaround, and now Lobby, probably no escape. Fire Blast was used, but he doesn't have just enough health pool to TP out from this. That was so unfortunate for them. What a shame. They just went in, tried to gank Medusa. Medusa didn't even lose a single point of HP.
That was an absolute disaster. You've got to respect the Medusa when you want to kill her, and you cannot really engage when you're missing health like that. I mean, it's a rough thing, and if you get caught by a Stone Gaze Petrification, you're dead. I mean, physical amplification of the Mystic Snake, it's just borderline unwinnable if that happens.
Oh, Chrissy comes in, finds Ashraf as well. He was slowed down by the Viper Strike. Now gets his movement speed back though, and with the Phase Boots will get enough distance, I believe. Chrissy, he wants it so bad with another blink. Maybe he's gonna go for it. Nope. A little bit too low on mana, and oh, he's gonna get stunned up anyway. Probably gonna lose his life with Lobby coming in. Level 3 Glimpse is just in range for now. Even the Impale from Scrub. So Chrissy, heavy overextension right there. Mid lane though, they're gonna find Miracle maybe, never mind. Gets the Shadow Dance off just in time. Cast now. If he gets stunned, Kinetic Field keeps him in place. So Rave, they just give away 2 for pretty much nothing. Oh, he got the last Fire Blast.
He got a multicast. He multicast it. It was complete chance, but he got the kill. Now in comes Ashraf with that exorcism. He wants to try to bring down this tier 1 in the mid lane. But Viper now has a mech. So it's 8 plays 5, and Slight advantage to first departure, I believe. No, whoa, look at the net worth difference. That's a 2,000 net worth lead to Rave. That's off the farm they've been getting. Same for experience. I did not expect this when it comes to the graphs. Not a
XP
long...
is zeroed out though, so I guess that's not that big of a deal, but the net worth, most of it probably will just be the Batrider compared to the Nyx, although Nyx, looking at him, 2.9k, it's not that bad. I guess it might just be the difference of the Ogre and the support and the Batrider and the offlaner together, kind of. So,
I think that's the best way to look at it, yeah. I mean, still, you've got to remember right now, these supports for Rave, if they start getting items, they are going to be downright scary, nigh unkillable. I mean, Batrider's pretty much got his core items online, almost going for the... Well, he's going to go for the 4-staff now, and once that 4-staff's online, Chrissy is set, he's golden. Anything after that is just extra on top. I mean, a Scythe of Ice, for example. But you look at the Ogre. Ogre, he could go for a Force, he could go for pretty much whatever he wants, or an Aghanims, and just go for the I have all of the multicasts in the world, come at me kind of build.
I absolutely love Aghanims against Slark to be honest on Ogre, but nice glimpse into straight off Impale, so they're gonna get Reor. They did have the mech, didn't get a chance to even pop it though on the Viper, so nice easy kill. They're slowing down the Viper's farm, his power threats, his tankiness. And with this, maybe even get a tier 1, but Aghanims, Ogre Magi, he just kind of kills Slark. You have the Shadow Dance, but you might not be able to activate it. And Slark drops extremely low just to farming up creep. For a second I was like, what? Is somebody chasing him? But also, they're just leaving the Medusa to free farm, first departure that is. They're really not focusing on him too much at all.
No, they're not, and they sort of need to. You can't just leave him. It's a bad thing to do, but now it comes to TP defense. Do they have enough with the Viper here? Viper gets glimpsed well back. Holy hell, that did not go according to plan. He must have TP'd immediately, sent back to where he died. That was unexpected. Viper straight gets thrown into Politan, but can Rio escape? Yes, he can. He's hobbling away with less than 20 health, but they'll lose the VS for this one, as well as possibly Asheroth. Dots are throwing out. Miracle gets caught in the ice path, but Rave will lose class as well. Now in comes Jo, though, and the Lasso going to bring back that Slark. Scrub in a bad way now. He's dropping. Dots all over the place. More dots, and he'll fall. Next up will be the tower, though, and Objective Gaming. You get a lead, you get a tower.
Oh man, what a glimpse, first of all, on the Viper. That I haven't seen anything like that happen before, I do believe. It was really sick to see, but he survives anyway. The last Thunderstrike brought him down to like 30 HP or something. The mech definitely the saving grace there. Ninja Boogie does get stunned up. Kinetic Field to keep him in place, but Rave, they have plenty of them there. Ice Path will come in. Asheroth though, with the Exorcism, he's gonna arrive. Gonna go for Chikiro first. Jo completely out of mana as well. But Ignite onto Asheroth. Gets the Yule Scepter, but he's gonna get Fire Blasted immediately as he comes down. Or is it up the swap from Poloson? Sacrifices his own life. Would have been a multicast as well. But it's a support for support, so in the end, it's still Rave coming out ahead just over the last minute or two.
Aye, and now, well, that is the effective turn around again kind of team fight. If they had just backed up immediately after the tier 1 falls, maybe they could have got out alive, but Asheroth managed to get some collateral kills, and what's he going to be building next? It's either an Atos, which I would very much like to see, or a Heart, and he can just tank up ridiculously. I mean, Death Prophet right now is the scariest hero on the board for first departure. More scary than Miracle by far. So all's going to come down to that.
Well, maybe they're going to be able to just take a couple of good fights, but they really need Exorcism as well to actually properly fight for first departure. And although they have the Nyx Assassin, which is good against Medusa, still Mana Burn is only level 1 for this point. No Blink Dagger on Scrub yet either. So maybe with this Vendetta that is available to them, maybe they're gonna find something or try to push down a tier 1. But they definitely need more than they've gotten so far.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the tier 1 on this top lane. They don't have Exorcism though, so they must realize, why is the Death Prophet up there without Exorcism? Surely it's a trap. And they should be very wise to that.
Well, they are going for the push,
tower.
and doesn't look like Rave is gonna come and defend this. They're just going to trade tier 1s. Although if you're Rave, do keep on going for the tier 2. I mean, you have Liquid Fire, which is just an absolutely amazing pushing ability. Do you just force first departure back, or will first departure actually kind of take that wager and go for a tier 2 of their own? They have Exorcism in 20 seconds.
I think, yeah, there'll be a tier 2 on the cards for first departure. I mean, you've got Exorcism, why not use it? If they can force the fight, that's perfect. And it seems to be a tier 2 push coming out for Rave as well. So a little bit of a race going on here. They don't push the tier 2 on the top lane. Instead, they'll try to catch Chrissy. That's not exactly the easiest thing to do, though. It's a bloody Bat Rider. Nigh on uncatchable, even unless you catch a really good glimpse. But now when it comes to TP defense, they want to fight on this bottom lane. The Ewells goes up onto the Ogre, but there's very little they can do here. Silence catches Jo. They're all trying to retreat, but they can turn around. Where's the Stone Gaze? Mystic Snake bouncing around. Stone Gaze does catch a good number. Polison will get stoned, and there's no way out of this one. In comes the Exorcism. Now in comes Slark as well. Multicast on him. 2 goes down. Chrissy blinks in, looking for the lasso, but gets caught by a Rogue Impale. 4 stuff away. He's not going to be able to escape this one, but Scrub will take a fall to all of those dots. Make that a multicast on that Ignite even, and Miracle will burn as well. Impale, Ignite. Eat too many eggs. Far too many eggs.
Oh, Chrissy wanted to jump in for another lasso. Once again, a little bit too short, and with the Exorcism 4 stuff away, he's going to stay safe, just barely though. And I have to say, just the mech making such a difference in those fights. Chrissy would have been dead 100%, of course. Maybe wouldn't have even made the jump like this had he had less HP, but really great fight for Rave. Get the tier 2, get 3 kills, almost get Miracle down as well. Just Miracle came in, pounced, got multicasted mid-air, then shrugged it off with a Dark Pact, but by then he was like down at what, 200 HP or something, so he couldn't even stay in the fight. This Slark so far has been extremely underwhelming.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And the thing for Rave here is that was such an advantageous team fight for them. They got, what, 3, 4 heroes killed, plus the tier 2 off the back of getting the tier 1 on that lane. Bottom lane, it's just huge advantage right there. And that was the best Roshan tower for the Radiant as well to get. And, well, the first departure are going to start hunting in the jungle, but they'll lose the Viper for the Slark, and now they're going to try to get Polison as well. With that Stone Gaze, there's just no escape. Double kill up for Chrissy, and the fight just does not end. They try to catch the final retreat, and the Nyx will die, I believe, in the fountain to the Ignite.
Oh man, that was so unfortunate. Of course, Liquid Fire and Dual Breath, I think, were on him as well. So 3 dots ticking away. We even brought him down in the fountain. So still an excellent fight. First departure, they tried to go for something, but even the kill on the Viper took them quite some time. He barely got enough mana for a mech after the Magic Stick charges on him. And now has himself a Vitality booster as well. Gonna build even tankier. I guess it's a Heart of the Rask rather than a Crimson Scar, but I guess it might be a Crimson as well.
A Crimson Guard could work, but how much can it actually stop here? I mean, it'll take a good chunk of JO's damage away for the duration, but a lot of the damage coming out of Rave is magical. So I'm not sure Crimson is the right call.
I still think it's probably just Vitality booster into Heart later on. I would think so at least. I guess there's like a minor chance of a Road of Athos, but on a Viper I can just think of so many better items to build.
On a Viper... wait, Crimson Guard on a Viper, you say? Or so that you were going Crimson Guard on the Death Prophet, considering she's also got a Vitality booster.
Oh, I was talking about the Viper.
Well, Crimson Guard could work for both teams here. First departure could go to take away some of JO's damage, whereas Rave, they could get a Crimson Guard and pretty much neuter the damage of the Slark. Thing is, Crimson Guard does not stop the damage of Exorcism. And the rest of the team is magical again, so Crimson Guard is iffy on both sides.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer Heart for both of them, to be honest. Death Prophet, I guess, could go for the Road of Athos, definitely a decent item on her as well, but so far it's going to be a casual Vitality into a BKB instead, which is going to be finished soon enough. And with the BKB, Death Prophet should feel rather safe in actually just being in the middle of the fight and just going for it completely, just trying to do it solo almost. But the Medusa, still number 1 in network, has the Lincoln Sphere finished. I guess this is a better game for the Lincoln Sphere than the last one was. Still not the greatest, but to be honest, up against Glimpse, if you... Oh, never mind, they're going to get another jump onto the Yor. There's the Static Storm as well, but he has the mech, he's going to pop it the Miracle, he just has to escape. Got Viper struck up. Now they're going to go for Polison, might find the Courier as well. The Speed Burst, even that's not enough. Polison going to get lassoed. My god, they're just losing every step of the way.
Aye, that was a ridiculous turnaround. That's just the strength, though, of the lineup of Rave. They've got a tankier Viper who has that mech. We've said how powerful that actually is. On top of all of that, they have the rapid response time that is a Bat Rider.
Well, mid lane, nice double Ice Path onto Miracle and Scrub with the Mystic Snake to follow. Miracle just so low on mana as well. He did go for the Hand of Midas, yet still number 4 in net worth only. I guess he's almost surpassing Batrider, but he's gonna have his own BKB soon enough. They're dewarding, they're just getting map control, they're winning fights. Almost everything is going their way.
Yeah, this is quite advantageous for Rave here. And just look at the graphs. 10,000 gold lead for Rave, as well as a 7.5k experience lead. The ball is in their court, really, to throw.
Well, I guess their Death Prophet is still rather farm, so they have that going for them. Doesn't have a level 3 ultimate quite yet, but even a level 2 exorcism with the BKB, if you can actually stand in the fight and not have to run away immediately, it might do enough for your team. And, well, Rave, they are going for Roshan now, but they don't have any minus armor coming out. Bloodlust is going to help out a little bit, but it's still not going to be all that fast for them. So that is like the one positive for first departure, that Rave cannot too easily take Roshan. But now with the double damage of Medusa, things get a little bit easier for them. Still going to be a rather slow Roshan.
It's a slow Roshan, but it's still completely doable. There's going to be no defense coming out of first departure. They really cannot stop this. And I'm expecting Roshan to go down and TP to the top lane to defend it. At least that's what I expect, considering Exorcism's been committed. That top tower is starting to fall. In comes the TP from the Medusa. If they can get a kill here onto Jo, that's fine for first departure, but I think it's more likely that Jo will try to kill Ashraf if he ever gets a chance to. I mean, ping's coming out on the map. The rest of Rave, they're starting to rotate up. Most of them in smoke. Ninja Boogie leading the charge outside of the smoke. And this is absolute disaster for Jo. He gets isolated, brought down. He has no mana. Aegis forced already. Can they find anything to respond to this, though, for the Aegis? In comes the bat, looking for the aggressive charge in. Scrub, caught out by a stun. Jo does pop the Stone Gaze, and they're going to try to find Polison. They catch Polison, and now they look for Lubby, but Lubby manages to get that glimpse off in time, so it's only a kill for the Viper on the Vengeful Spirit at the moment. Can they catch the Ice Path? No, they can't. Last second TP away by the Disruptor, and it's a Vengeful Spirit for an Aegis at the end of the day.
Well, it's a pretty good trade if your first departure, of course, especially considering your exorcism wore off straight after you got the kill on the Medusa. Medusa went a little bit too early as well. I totally thought that Rave, they got the timing down correctly with just exorcism ending, then they go fight. But Medusa got a little bit too antsy, went in a little bit too far by himself. Still though, they are going for the tier 2 push, and without the exorcism, first departure cannot really stop it at all. Macropyre even used to make the push a little bit faster. So that's a tier 2. If they had the Aegis, I'd say even go for tier 3s, but without that, it gets a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, and it'll be a tier 2 for a, well, tier 1 denied, really. But Rave are in the driving seat of this game. It's going to be nigh on impossible for first departure unless they get multiple good team fights in a row to be able to do the uphill stretch needed for this one. Not impossible, but hard.
And well, with this, now that all that has been happening, Ogre Magi only a Blade of Alacrity away from finishing up his Aghanims. So gonna be a rather fast one, at least as far as support Ogres are concerned. So with the Aghanim Scepter, double stuns coming out, already has the level 2 multicast as well. Things are getting scarier and scarier if your first departure, although Slark is reasonably farming up, gonna have his Eye of Skadi in a point booster gold worth. So he has some items. I mean, net worth wise, Slark isn't doing that bad, but a Slark needs quite a couple of items to actually be threatening.
Yeah, he does, and he needs to maintain really a level lead as well. Look at the Slark, level 14. There are... the supports are nearly catching up to the Slark in this case for Rave. I mean, Ogre, level 12, almost has that Aghanims. That's going to be ridiculously scary. On top of all of that, you've got the Batrider at 13, Jo at 16, Viper at 14. If the Slark doesn't have that level advantage and the ability just to strike fear into the hearts of the opponents, the Slark just falls off massively. Slark is a lot more of a psychological hero as well as a ganker hero. You've got to remember how scary a Slark can be. Burst damage and sustained control in a team fight with the Essence Shift. The longer a Slark fights, the scarier he is.
Well, that is definitely true, but the question is how long can he fight? So far, his really effectiveness has been diminished heavily. Just because Ogre, first of all, he's really focused the Slark as well when he's in the fights. Get like one lucky multicast and Slark almost has to back off. Well, now with the Eye of Skadi, it's not as easy to bring him down. Not only is it harder to bring him to the low amount of health, It's also when he pops the Shadow Dance, gets a lot of more HP back now that he has a higher HP pool. But they're on the hunt. Do they have a gem on them? No, they don't. So Scrub, he's scouting things out. Pop the Spike Carapace, but reveals his position with this glimpse onto Chrissy with the stun. So they might once again escape without any casualties. But look at the Viper. He has an AC flying out for himself.
Yeah, when the AC is delivered, this is just going to be, in my mind, time to look for that game-ending fight. I mean, AC for this team, how do you get ahead, get more tanky? I mean, look at the Ogre now. Ogre has, what, 13 armor? When he's within range of that, within range of the AC, that's going to be even more so. But now Cast in a lot of trouble, gets glimpsed back. A lot of damage being thrown into him, and he will fall, and there's no response to this for now. All of the members of Rave just backed away when that happened, and they didn't really want to risk it. They did, of course, lose the Jakiro as well, but it's a very hard one now for Rave to fight into this without those two supports. And Miracle's certainly getting ballsy, and how much has he got extra shift-wise? 13, 14, and rising. This could be very bad here for Jo, especially if he's not careful. In comes the Stone Gaze, pounce away with the Dark Pack, but in comes Chrissy. This was Miracle overextending, and he will fall again.
Well, Essence Shift doesn't do you any good if you just get lassoed up like that, up against like 3-4 heroes. So, really nicely done. Rave, they do have the Ogre dead, but this is going to 100% transition into a tier 2, maybe even just some damage into tier 3 as well.
I should think easily a tier 2. With the Ogre back up now, if the Ogre gets into the lane quick enough, I think this could be tier 3 time. I mean, he's still, sure, 500 gold away from his Ags, but it's an Ogre. I've seen 6-slotted carries who are still scared of an Ogre Magi.
Yeah, that's really, I think, the most beautiful thing about the hero. But oh, Yule Scepter, Ice Path, Macro Pyre onto Lobby Disruptor. He is so dead. Goes down to the Flame Break of Chrissy. But that's really the beauty of Ogre. I mean, there are only a handful of supports. Maybe the Ogre Magi is like one of the really less than a handful even that can actually kill enemy cores once you have the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, and if a support can kill cores, even in the later stages of the game, you know things are pretty good.
Yep, and speaking of Ogre, he just got his Aghanims, he got the last piece needed. Now in comes the swap, however, onto Ninja. They're trying to bring him down, but the Yule's is there, buys him some time. In comes Chrissy, does catch the lasso onto Miracle. He can't escape this one with the Dark Pack, but he's going to start doing some more damage now. Ninja Boogie will take a fall. Rio going to try to get up front and center, but taking far too much. Ashra does have his BKB going, and now in comes the double impale, lands on Rio as well as Jo. They'll lose Rio. Now Jo's going to be the focus, but now he turns around, split shot, doing all of the damage. Jo on a dominating spree, managing to bring down that Nyx. Now looking for Ashraf. One more auto attack would be enough, but couldn't quite manage it. In comes Scrub once again with that double but impale. Well, single impale this time, but Miracle is here. They're going to bring down Jo. There is no way for him to escape. Triple kill for Miracle, and, well, this Slark just got a lot more scarier.
I have to say, Scrub in that fight at least did a lot of work on the Nyx Assassin. Nice spike carapaces, quite a couple of nice impales there as well. So they do defend for now. They don't lose the Raxes, although some Raxes take some damage, but melee Raxes will of course just reach him back up. And Cast, he did not deliver out his Aghanims to him. Had he had the double stuns there, I think they would have been able to kill off the Slark first of all. So just maybe a little bit impatient of a push from Rave. But now there's the Blink Pounce onto Ninja Boogie as well. They're going to get another kill. Oh my god, this is just going so south for Rave.
Incredibly south. This could, in fact, be the opening to turn this game around in First Departure's favour. Still, it's a tall hill to climb. Still over 10k gold advantage towards First Departure. But, sorry, gold advantage towards Rave. But now in comes the next fight. Miracle does get lassoed up once again. Cast throws his stuns left, right, and centre. Trying to bring down anyone. They can't manage it though. Ashra stuck in his BKB. He's not going to get him down. Not easily, at least. BKB timed out now. Where's the Ice Path? There it is. They're going to go for Ashra. Bring him down. That's your first opening here. They need to, however, catch Miracle. And Miracle is still just jumping around like a madman. Pouncing left, right. Can they catch him? There's the Flame Break. Does some damage, but... ah, now in comes Jo. There's no escape once the Skadi gets.
Yeah, the Pounce couldn't get into the high ground either. Maybe then, oh never mind, wasn't even carrying a blink for himself. Does have a Talisman of Evasion. Even that though, not enough, so they lose pretty much all of their cores. And although the Chikiro died, he sacrificed himself for the greater good, as in getting the Ice Buff on the Death Prophet like that. So, worthy sacrifice for sure. Rave back to where they were after losing the fight, I guess, in the mid lane just a minute before. But Jo getting more items of her own, so damn tanky on the Medusa as well. And of course in the last fight they also started when the Medusa was on less than half mana pool as it is. So now if they go with full HP, full mana on everybody, this should be the Rax really.
Yeah, it should be. They've got the Aghanims now. They've got everything they could possibly want. I mean, what more can JO get here? The Manta? I mean, with a Manta maybe, but this should be Rax. I mean, Slark, 14 seconds till he respawns. They don't have Exorcism, unless they really want to try this. They go in for the double Impale, catch it once more. Scrub can land these Impales. I'm impressed with how successfully he's managing to get doubles. But still, the Rax are falling. Melee goes down. Range went down. Melee's going to follow. And, well, where's the defense? Where is the defense? In comes Miracle. There's the defense we're looking for. The Rax still stand. The Melee Rax will start to regenerate. The Ice Path Magpie combo drops. Rio trying to finish off Scrub, but Scrub manages to get into Vendetta, not before the last auto attack gets him. They had some detection somewhere, and now they're just starting to do work. Polison will fall. They lost the Melee Rax. Lubby goes down. 3 supports dead effectively. 2 cores still stand. But I don't think Ashraf and Miracle can do anything on their own here. Not against the full 5-man force of Rave.
Yeah, and definitely not without the Exorcism being up. It is going to come up in 7 seconds. So maybe they're not going to lose the second set of Rax immediately, but even that's going to be a stretch for them to actually defend with the 2 of them. So 20 seconds. Miracle, he's going to blink in, but pounce out immediately. Gets Viper Struck up anyway. If only Cast had a blink dagger for the follow-up Fire Blasts. But they're just going to lose a tier 3. Everybody has Bloodlust on them as well, almost. Cast, force the forward, gets the stun onto Ashraf. No multicast, doesn't get it even with the second one either. Not lucky at all. There's the Yule Scepter. Death Prophet might survive this until Rior comes in with the poison attacks. A few more. Ninja Boogie keeps on going, but Miracle, he is playing zoning. Well, there's the multicast, and that's a dead fish.
Yeah, ring the jackpot bell. That was the triple at rank 2 multicast, so about as expected. And the Rax will fall. They lose another full set. In comes Miracle once again, trying to be ballsy, but there's a multicast. Can we get another one? I don't think we can, but now the full 5-man side of First Apache is up. This fight could go well for them if they can stand. The Exorcism is there, doing good damage. Miracle within the Shadow Dance, starting to chip away at Cast. If Cast falls, this is going to be pretty big. Another multicast triple falls, though, and well, not get any kills for it with it, however. But 3 down for Rave, and all 5 members of First Departure are standing. Downside for First Departure, they are playing 2 full sets of Rax down.
Yeah, and that's probably enough as well. And the Haste Room picked up on Batrider kind of guarantees his escape. Rior TP's out from Ashraf as well. So 3 go down, but doubles Rax. Miracle finds Chrissy, but not nearly enough to get the kill. No Basher on him as well to stop the TP. So 33 minutes in Rave, they take the 2 Rax advantage. Looking at the graphs as well, it's about a 15,000 net worth lead. XP 7,500, so it's not that big. But with 2 Rax ahead, this advantage should be big enough for Rave to kind of close out the game soon.
I'm in complete agreement. That might have been the final nail in the coffin right there with the 2 full sets of Rax dead. But it seems that First Departure are not going to go quietly into the night. They are going to try to go for the Roshan and maybe try to force a fight. But you've got to go up against Ninja and his relatively reliable Ice Path. And you've got Chrissy lurking around as well. We've seen Chrissy's Batrider. It's downright scary.
Oh, they found Miracle though. Dark Pact is already used. Ice Path is there. Lasso not used by Chrissy for some reason, waiting for it. There's the Static Storm, will completely whiff as well, but Glimpse onto Cast will get him back into it. But they need Miracle. Stone Gaze from Cheo, a little bit from too far away. Poloson, he's in the Roche Pit, getting bashed. Oh, the Ice Path onto Lobby as well. Cancels the TP. Miracle now, he's gonna be brought down. Pounce onto Chrissy and stays alive, but no Shadow Dance to escape. That's 3 for 1. And Scrub might even get chased down. Rior too low on mana to probably slow them. So let's just go get Roche instead.
Yeah, that's still a core and 2 supports though. That's huge. I'd be happy for that in exchange for an Ogre. And to get an Aegis on top of that, I think it's time to end this game. I think it's time for that final set of Rax to start taking some damage.
This should be the easiest Rax of their lives almost. Slark down for 60 seconds. Exorcism will be up in 10 seconds though, and Ashraf even going for a Refresher Orb at this point. Still needs like another 600 gold for it or so. So not too sure if he's even going to be able to use it at all in this game. Or if he's even going to survive for long enough with the 1 Exorcism.
With the 1 Exorcism, no, I don't think it's going to be enough to hold. I mean, Oblivion Staff, Refresher Orb recipes picked up, doesn't have the full Perseverance though, and that's a huge problem.
Look at the Slark. Mask of Madness picked up now. Desperation move times.
try to get as much Essence Shift stolen as possible. Now in comes Chrissy looking for that aggressive blink forward with that BKB. Can they catch anyone? They're going to go straight for Scrub. Scrub gets just chased out of the base. And now everything goes wrong. Ashbra, did he survive? Yes, he did, just for a little bit longer, but he's got no health as BKB is about to run out. So I don't think they can hold, not with the Slark dead. Sure, they can buy a bit more time, but this is going to be megas in about 5 seconds. I mean, the melee rack's already down, range rack's taking a pounding. This is just too much. Chrissy's going to go forward once more, look for what he can. Now come the multicast. There's one set. Miracle, not going to escape the multicast wrath and just casting multicasts on point all the damn time. Try saying that quickly.
It's rather easy to get the multicast if you have 2 stuns to throw out as well, man. One is gonna multicast, at least it should. But guys, this is going to conclude this particular series. Rave take this 2-0. We had massive delays with game number 1 starting. A bit of a delay in game 2 starting as well, but in the end Rave took it 2-0 anyway. But this is not it by a long shot. We still have another series coming up for the I-League. It's going to be Invasion versus Underminer or Regal, however you know them. It's going to be pretty much, I think, a Malaysian matchup once again. But it's going to be starting in about 20 minutes time, 15 CET, 22 SGT. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the game as well as the cast. If you liked it, you can follow us for more on HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter for the casters, at Coucher for me, at Mr_Blackadder for my co-caster is also in the title of Twitch. So you can follow us, leave us some feedback and whatnot, and just see you for the next series in about 20 minutes time.